Welcome, everyone. My name is Sundar Ramani. On behalf of the Burbank Chamber of Commerce, we're happy to have you here at the 2014 State of the City Luncheon. I appreciate the first 7 people that they asked were busy and they send their regrets, so they've got me, and you're going to endure me one more year. I apologize. We have a great program in store for you. We have the opening ceremony, of course, and I'd like to invite Archbishop Hovnan Derderian from St. Leon Armenian Cathedral to join us for an invocation. And if you wouldn't mind stay standing after that for our flag salute, and we'll introduce them as we go along. Thank you.
Almighty God, you bless us in today's fellowship as the Burbank Chamber of Commerce proudly presents the annual State of the City banquet. Today's fellowship brings us together to celebrate the city of Burbank as our home, but above all, the progress and the achievements which we all witnessed and appreciate, the progress which is most visible through the efforts of the Chamber of Commerce. We give thanks to you for gracing upon us the privilege to become partners in your holy work in extending our hands into the hands of the community. In our prayers, we specifically remember with gratitude the visionary leadership of our mayor, Dr. David Gordon, who has been the most reachable mayor as he has shown genuine respect for all members of the community, instilling in their minds the sense of responsibility and sense of commitment to become shareholders in the making of the city of Burbank. O God, deepen in our spirituality the sense of responsibility as we aim to secure the well-being of the citizens of the city of Burbank, to serve and live with dignity and honor. Amen.
Thank you very much, Archbishop. For our flag salute, I'd like to welcome up here Darla Gerharter. She is the teacher at Disney Elementary School, also the recipient of the 2014 LA County District Teacher of the Year Award for our flag salute, and then we'll have a patriotic song after that. Darla.
Please put your right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And congratulations, Darla. I'd like to introduce our musical performers this afternoon. From Burroughs High School, they're members of the Powerhouse group, Patriotic Music Selections, and it wouldn't be right if I just said Powerhouse, so I'm going to try to attempt to butcher their names. We have Jaziri Booker, Marvin De La Cruz, Megan Getch, and Fadine Kelty. Welcome.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the prairies to the mountains, to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Members of Powerhouse from Burroughs High School, thank you very much for lending them. I'm sure they hated to miss class. By the way, we just have a few things to do before you start digesting your salad. And one of the first things, could I get this pitcher half emptied? Because this peach of the mayor will last as long as this pitcher. And I don't, we all have somewhere to be. So that's too much water for him. We have a lot of dignitaries here, and well, I promise you, I'm going to race through them, and we'll go even faster if you don't applaud after each name, and we'll do it at the end of all the readings. And if I missed anybody, tough, but you can tell me about it later. I didn't mean that. No, I didn't mean that. So here we go. Our elected officials, of course, we're going to hear from our illustrious mayor, Dr. David Gordon, a little later. We have Vice Mayor Bob Prudos, Council Member Gary Brick, Council Member Emily Gable-Luddy, Council Member Jess Talamantes, City Treasurer Debbie Kukta, City Clerk Zizette Mullins, and from Glendale, I know we have City Council Member Laura Friedman. I won't miss you this time, even with the glasses. Thank you. From our school board, we have Board President Roberta Reynolds, Larry Applebaum, Ted Bunch, Dave Kemp, Charlene Tabbitt. Other officials, City Manager Mark Scott, Superintendent of Instruction Jan Britz, City Attorney Amy Albano, Fire Chief Tom Lenahan, Deputy Police Chief Tom Angel, Airport General Manager Dan Fager, Airport Commissioners Don Brown, Sue Giorgino, Bill Wiggins, and former Assembly Member Anthony Portantino is with us as well, and former mayors Mary Lou Howard, Bill Wiggins, and Glendale officials other than Laura Friedman, we have Mayor Zara Sinanian and City Clerk Artie Kasakian, and reps from Adam Schiff's office is Mary Hovaginian, and Supervisor Antonovich's office, we have Rita Hajimanukian, and President of Woodbury University, Dr. Louis Kalingo. Did I miss anybody? Perfect. In your program is a list of all the sponsors, but it always sounds better when you introduce them live. So please bear with me as we thank all the sponsors that made today's luncheon possible. Our goal sponsors are Burbank, Bob Hope Airport, and thank God the numbers are climbing over there. Burbank City Federal Credit Union, Burbank Town Center, the Cusimano Real Estate Group, the Walt Disney Company, Warner Brothers Entertainment, Inc. Silver sponsors include the Burbank Association of Realtors, Burbank Water and Power Department, thank you for keeping the lights on, NBC Universal, Patterson Graphics Corporation, Lori and Pat, thank you. A little louder next time. Providence St. Joseph's Medical Center, Woodbury University, Worth Real Estate Group. Bronze sponsors include AT&T, Burtech Waste Industries, Charter Communications. Please, let's give them all a round of applause. Invariably, you don't introduce everybody that needs to be introduced, so of course I missed two people. Talene Mangioglu is with State Senator Carol Liu's office, so I apologize for missing you earlier. And David Escobar, who's not very important and not anybody you should know, but he plans to be someday, and he thought maybe I should introduce him as well. So I apologize to you too, David. It is my great pleasure now to introduce this year's Chamber of Commerce Board Chair, Mike Thomas, who will go ahead and introduce our mayor for us. Mike Thomas.
Good afternoon and welcome. It is my great pleasure at this time to introduce our honorable mayor of the city of Burbank, Dr. David Gordon.
Hello and good afternoon. Thank you for taking time out of your busy days to be here today. I'm glad so many members of the community and special guests are gathered here today in one room to hear about our great city and the future opportunities before us. In addition to the dignitaries introduced by Sundar Ramani, we are fortunate to have a number of distinguished guests representing the entertainment industry, including representatives from Disney, NBC Universal, Nickelodeon, and Warner Brothers. Thank you for being here. If you want to get a feel for a community's fiscal health, I recommend you go to a few ribbon cuttings. I've certainly attended my share and enjoyed every one of them. Whether a small business starting out for the first time, a large company bringing its winning formula to Southern California, or an established business moving to a new location. I stand before you as mayor of Burbank, but at heart, I'm a resident and a small business owner who deeply is proud to call Burbank home. Over the past 6 months as mayor, I have seen firsthand that Burbank is strong and has a strong and vibrant economy, with many opportunities for future growth. The new IKEA will be built just off I-5 near Alameda and South San Fernando Road. This new location will have better freeway access and loading facilities. Once the new store is completed in the fall of 2016, this will create an opportunity for new development on the current IKEA site, next to the Burbank Town Center. Just 2 blocks away from the new IKEA, South San Fernando is experiencing a renaissance with the construction of 2 new hotels, the 170-room Spring Hill Suites, which is beginning to take shape, and the Hilton Garden Inn, which will feature 210 rooms. Those extra hotel rooms will bring visitors to Burbank and more tax dollars to our community through the transient occupancy tax. It brought in 9% more revenue than the previous fiscal year for the total of more than $714,000, thanks in large part to hotel occupancy rate that rose more than 3 points to 79.4%. Those are some of the strongest hotel numbers we've seen since the recession. More positive news. Demand for office space in Burbank is steady, as our 8.5% vacancy rate consistently beats LA counties more than 11%. By the way, these statistics are in the City of Burbank's Economic Development Annual Report, which can be found on your table. There are some other interesting facts in there, so be sure to take it home with you and use it as a reference guide. This annual economic development report can also be obtained on the city's website or by visiting any of the city's public libraries or the lobbies of City Hall or the Community Services Building. Many of you may be wondering about the status of Caltrans I-5 project, which is in the full construction mode. You've likely experienced the most dramatic change with the permanent closure of the San Fernando undercrossing. The city continues to work with Caltrans to keep our residents and businesses informed of major impacts and to mitigate some of the inconvenience this project is creating as we all travel across the city from the east side to the west side and vice versa. You can get Caltrans' latest updates by simply clicking the I-5 freeway construction link on the left of the city's homepage at burbankca.gov. An important community benefit of the new Empire Interchange will be the creation of additional on- and off-ramps to the freeway, and a direct route from North San Fernando Boulevard to Empire Avenue and the Empire Center. That portion of the project is currently slated for completion in June of 2017. At about the same time, crews are expected to complete the new rail overcrossing at Buena Vista and San Fernando. Once the two new segments are done, Caltrans will demolish the Burbank Boulevard Bridge to widen the freeway. It's important to note that the Burbank Boulevard on and off ramps will remain open the entire time of the Burbank Bridge construction. You just won't be able to cross the 5 freeway at that location until the replacement bridge is completed in late 2018. Sorry about that. Upon completion, these major transportation infrastructure improvements should significantly improve access to the Bob Hope Airport as well. Shifting gears, we have an exciting event scheduled and slated for this summer. The Special Olympics World Games are coming to Los Angeles in July of 2015. The city of Burbank has been chosen to serve as one of the 100 host towns in the 3 days leading up to the 9-day event. We will entertain a 100-person delegation of athletes as they get acclimated to the weather and time change before the World Games begin. We've been told the announcement of who's coming to Burbank will be made in November. Woodbury University has already stepped up and offered dorm rooms for the 3 nights. There will be other opportunities to donate meals and activities for the athletes as we show them our community unity and support for this very special event. We'd appreciate any volunteering of time or services in support of the Olympic athletes, Special Olympic athletes. While our Special Olympics guests will find Burbank a very nice place to visit, it's also a great place to live, work, and raise a family. This is clearly reflected by our strong real estate market. Solid medium home values in Burbank are now at $530,000 for a single-family home. You can give credit to our quality schools, our city amenities that are second to none, and our safe neighborhoods that benefit from some of the fastest police and fire response times in Southern California, just to name a few. More positive news. Our unemployment rate dropped from 8.4% to 7.29% in the last fiscal year, nearly half that of Los Angeles County. Burbank's diverse economy and strong entertainment industry are continuing factors for that success. I believe we can agree that we all share the goal of preserving the high quality of life here in Burbank. We can achieve this goal through unity in our community. I suspect that there are certain objectives on which we can all agree contribute to Burbank's quality of life, such as a safe community, equal opportunity for our children, and quality jobs. I'm devoting my remaining time to introduce an initiative that will lay the foundation for a prosperous Burbank, an initiative sparked by an idea in San Bernardino that does not accept the status quo, but addresses existing conditions in our workforce, our schools, and the real-world demands of an increasingly technical and rapidly changing workplace. I believe we have a rare opportunity before us to profoundly impact our quality of life, and I've been meaning to say this all day. Please roll the tape. In machine shops around America, aging manufacturing equipment rests in silence. Between the years 2000 and 2009, more than 6 million manufacturing jobs disappeared in America, leaving unemployed workers trained for occupations that no longer exist. These machines, seemingly relics of the past, in a trade that some believe is dying. Or is it? At the Technical Employment Training Center in San Bernardino, these machines are running. They're helping these students build a foundation of skills before graduating to the modern equipment more likely to be seen in present-day machine shops.
We've learned a lot of things, a lot of like manual stuff and even mathematics like trigonometry, and we do a lot of stuff on the computer. We're learning 3D printing, so a wide range of skills is what we're learning.
A shoulder injury forced Jerry Woodward to change careers, but his future is looking better as he learns new skills and gains valuable real-world experience. This training center came into existence when a local aerospace company struggled to find skilled machinists.
The talent pool simply was not qualified to meet the demands of the various industry sectors that I was involved in.
At the height of the recession, 32% of manufacturers in America reported unfilled positions because they couldn't find workers with the right skills. Gallo solved his problem by teaming up with Dr. Bill Clark.
This is way up here for them.
Who had 30 years experience in manufacturing and as an educator. Together, they created TET, remarkably, in less than 2 months.
In 6 weeks, we had a manufacturing plant up and built within our airport community. Within 6 months, 90% of those people were working.
What mode do we need to be in to run the program?
TET students are getting jobs because Gallo and Clark work with local industry to identify employment needs.
All right, looks good.
With that knowledge, they design a curriculum that develops graduates who are trained and ready to work. The success of TET has paved the way to expand this winning formula into the San Bernardino public schools. Like here at Indian Springs High School, where students are learning to design and manufacture their own products using state-of-the-art equipment.
It's really exciting, it's really fun. These new programs, actually the technical employment training that we're able to get for free here.
Dr. Clark says bringing high-tech equipment into high schools and even elementary schools will invigorate students.
So what's the perimeter if you go all the way around? 60.
Something that's been lacking in America's education system that puts so much emphasis on test scores.
That's cool.
Gallo says actively engaging young people with hands-on training will show them that what they learn can be used in the real world.
It's really the fundamental thing that we're trying to do here is to give students that hope, give them that inspiration, that active engagement into their public education experience so they get excited about things.
For Dalia Ramon, the skills he's learning will give him choices as he pursues his dream of earning a degree in engineering.
This has opened a lot of opportunity for me to actually get a career and start a career and learn while I'm working. So they've opened some of those options for us.
As they graduate from high school, the sky's the limit. They can go anywhere. They can go into apprenticeships, internships. They can go on to the university for degrees. There's nothing stopping them.
This bus is carrying community leaders from Burbank on a quest to learn more about the success in San Bernardino. Representatives from government, education, business, nonprofits, and the Bob Hope Airport travel to see firsthand the working machine shop retraining out-of-work adults, the high school program that's inspiring students to dream big, and in elementary school where the career pathway training is introducing these advanced concepts to students as young as the 3rd grade.
Until you actually are there and see the students working on the equipment that's been provided into these classrooms, you really can't appreciate what they have accomplished out there. When 3rd graders are doing 3D digital work, it's inspiring for the children and for someone like myself viewing what they're doing.
San Bernardino? So why would Burbank be interested in a city where more than 50% of residents live in poverty? Well, as different as they may seem, like any city, each relies on a strong workforce to keep their community vibrant.
For them to accomplish this in that kind of an economic environment, certainly we don't match that. We're a very prosperous city in comparison. But if they could do it there, and we can take that template and apply it to Burbank, and there is a need. there's a need here.
The surge in runaway production out of Hollywood began in the early 90s. Feature film production has dropped by half in Los Angeles.
A lot of the production has actually moved out of state.
The LA Times reports the number of top-grossing films made in California has dropped 60% in the last 15 years. The loss of jobs is a real concern for us here in the media capital of the world. The recently signed AB 1839 offers $330 million in tax credits to keep film and TV productions in state, but it does not address another challenge that is threatening the entertainment workforce.
Technology. I'll just be point and simple.
Gavin Kuhn has spent 30 years in the entertainment business, much of it fighting for union workers. He's witnessed the digital revolution, which is touching virtually all aspects of the industry. Design, pre-script, lighting, production, post, all of it digital, all of it constantly evolving, putting workers at risk.
What happens is when technology changes, when you're finished with your film, the next production comes up or they require maybe a SketchUp software or something else, and you don't have the skill set.
Kuhn sits on the Verdugo Workforce Investment Board, or the WIB, a federally funded collection of business, government, and community leaders. Its mission is to address major workforce issues within our region. Kuhn and other board members recognize that in order to keep jobs here, whether digital arts or manufacturing, workers must consistently train to keep their skills current and relevant.
You really have to be in touch with what the employer needs are and try to translate that into training programs that can raise the skill level of the employees to exactly what the employers need.
The WIB has already taken the initiative, working with Burbank and Glendale Unified School Districts, Glendale Community College, and Cal State Northridge to secure a $6 million state grant to prepare students for the 21st century workplace. Burbank Unified, which gets $1.4 million to strengthen its digital arts and digital manufacturing pathways, is connecting with the local entertainment industry, including Warner Brothers, Cartoon Network, and Nickelodeon.
I'm a huge advocate for workforce training.
Cody Burke is living proof that workforce training can lead to a successful career. He graduated from a vocational technical school in Pennsylvania. That experience opened the door to his current job, working for a 3D software company in Burbank.
To this day, I still say that the best decision I ever made in my life was choosing to attend the Bethlehem Area Vocational Technical School. If it wasn't for that program, I would not be anywhere near where I am today.
It's that kind of outcome Burbank Unified hopes to cultivate by working with our local studios.
I think what we want to do is partner with them and see what kind of work they need, see what kind of resources they can provide us, bring that into our schools, and capture that rather than go outside of Burbank and get those workers. We want them to be able to employ our students right after high school.
This is not a big leap for the school district, which has a head start with a strong regional occupational program and a developing relationship with local studios.
While you're drawing, if you keep your eyes up front.
Like this animation class at Burbank High, in which students create projects on the same equipment that professional animators use at Nickelodeon and DreamWorks.
The equipment we have here, the computers and the Cintiq tablets are really great. That's not something I can do at home. So to have that kind of professional environment to just be able to work is really amazing.
Workforce training in the digital arts may be a natural fit for the media capital of the world, but there are other training opportunities as well.
You can work on this today. It's not due till tomorrow.
For example, across town at John Burroughs High School, these ROP students are working their way up from lawnmowers to airplane engines, a reminder of Burbank's connection to the aviation industry.
The mission of my class, bottom line, is to show students that how many different jobs are actually available as a technician.
They actually show you on how to do it. Some other classes, they might just give you just instructions. They won't physically show it to you.
The hands-on experience is great. You have to touch it and feel it to get it, to understand how it works. A class like this really teaches them about shop safety, about tool identification, about the math, the physics, everything that's involved to go on to these other careers.
I always come very excited to this class, like every single day. I'm like, all right, engine work, let's go. Instead of paperwork, just be like, so boring.
Which brings us back to Gallo and Clark and their mission to inspire our youth and produce a highly trained workforce. I'd like to invite you to consider doing something similar here in Burbank. Imagine a workforce training program that focuses on two important tracks: Those already in the workforce who need specialized training for new and evolving technology in their real-world workplace. This would include our returning veterans. Workforce training for workers of tomorrow, students starting as early as the 3rd grade, traditional academic learning with hands-on experience in any number of technical fields. So when they graduate high school, they are both career ready and college prepared. So what would it take to replicate San Bernardino's success? To create a workforce training hub here in Burbank. Gallo and Clark point to some key objectives. Form education and business partnerships to determine workforce needs. Design curriculum that addresses those needs. Adopt a certification process so employers have confidence in the graduate skill set. Provide some form of on-the-job training or part-time work in the student's field of study. Create a job placement program. And, most importantly, get community buy-in.
It's going to take a group of people with a passion,
but then getting leaders that are true leaders in the community that can rally the troops.
If you do that, everybody's a winner.
What we're talking about is the future of Burbank.
Workforce training should be everywhere.
Our location is so advantageous.
Especially in Burbank or surrounding areas.
We have 2 freeways going through Burbank. We have the airport. We have 2 rail systems going through the airport.
We're giving them more than a diploma. We're giving them a diploma and credentials in areas where they can dream.
If you invest in your community and in your youth, you get the most out of it.
It's going to be difficult. It's going to require building partnerships that perhaps have never been built before.
It's timely, it's needed, and it'll benefit everyone, and it'll be really good for Burbank.
Wow, that gives me goosebumps. By providing enhanced economic opportunity through quality job training for both children and adults, and by working closely together as a unified community, I have no doubt we will be able to realize our shared vision of preserving and enhancing Burbank's quality of life for generations to come. In closing, I wish to take this opportunity to recognize those persons who have been indispensable in helping make the progress you have just seen possible. Please stand and remain standing when your name is called. The President of the San Bernardino City School District, Mr. Mike Gallo. Mike. Director of Technical Employment Training, Dr. Bill Clark. Bill. President of the Burbank Unified School District Board, Dr. Roberta Reynolds. Roberta. Burbank City Manager from the outset, Mark Scott. And of course, we have to remember where the money is taking, our City Treasurer, Debbie Kukta. And a critical element in this partnership, Verdugo Workforce Investment Board's Executive Director, we're pleased to have with us today, Mr. Don Nakamoto. Don, please stand up. And last but not least, Burbank Chamber of Commerce Executive Director, the tireless champion of making things happen, our very own Gary Olson. Gary, please stand up. Thank you. Please have you seated now. I also want to acknowledge the unified support and valuable input from my fellow members in the Burbank City Council who are here with us today, and the Board of Education. Thank you. And finally, I'd like to express my appreciation to all other city and school officials and staff, nonprofit and airport representatives, and members of the public who took the time to travel to San Bernardino on one or both tours that we made to TET. I thank all of you for joining in the effort to try and bring this vision to Burbank. While this concludes our program for this afternoon, it's important to note that this is not the end. This is just the beginning. Thank you.